I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
time for the In the Queue podcast with DJ Greggy C, Greg Curran, and David Hanscom. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live. Just search for In the Queue podcast or go to inthequeuepodcast.com. Please like our show and share this broadcast to show your support and pass on the good karma to help educate everyone.
work?
There we go. There we go.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And I kind of laugh every time it says every Monday night, because I'm sure people who watch us are like, yeah, no, not every Monday night.
Where does it say that? Where does it?
In the video, man, it says don't forget to join us every Monday night.
Oh no way. Oh, is it the speech or is it the text? Because I can look.
The speech.
Man, we'll change that. What's up, Chase? How are you, sir?
Chase, what's good, man?
Yeah, all right. That's something to change. We'll put that on the to-do list, my friend. Well, that was during coronavirus when we started this off anyway, and the only person that was busy was you, and they don't believe in coronavirus Florida, right? I mean,
right.
Wait, where's the drum roll on that? I tell a joke.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You know me, man. I'm over here, producer, trying to do 10 things at one time.
That's okay. Look, the producers, it's the hardest. It's the hardest job. So, look, you're almost famous. You're famous enough.
Right.
All right. So, look, how was your week, man? Or how was your couple of weeks?
It's been pretty hectic, pretty crazy, like in a good way. You know what I mean? Like just staying busy, a lot going on. Events going on. I mean, this year is officially the year to prove that, weddings don't just exist on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays now. They're basically every day of the week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, down where you live.
Yeah.
Up here, it's still kind of a seasonal thing until we get into the summer. Once we get into the summer, it changes because really nobody wants to do every day of the week when it's freezing cold, up in the Northeast, Ooh, yeah. You crazy, Joe. All right.
I know, right? I know.
But yeah, no, but then there's the other things, the other things that are during the week, and you hustle enough as an entertainer, but especially as a DJ, you get that stuff. You get that corporate accounts, you get those school accounts, and even the private parties, but the corporate, especially the corporate, that's where it's at. That's where you're going to get a lot of your, weekday work, etc.
Starting to come back too, which is good.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yeah. Look, I noticed the first comeback, obviously, we all noticed, but the second, the biggest comeback was when they lifted the mask mandates in the schools.
Yeah.
When they did that, I noticed I noticed what everybody was saying. Well, your phone's going to ring off the hook. I'm like, well, I'm waiting. It's not ringing off the hook, but it is ringing. I'm getting, or shall we say the email, I'm getting my hits like I should. And the analytics is going up and crazy. But the calls really did start to come. I was like, what is this? It was just the week they lifted that mask mandate. I got call after call after call that week. It was great. I was like, this is fabulous. And it's continuing, not at that speed, but hey, I'm happy with it because, if you did your homework, over the time and build up a little SEO or build up some brand recognition, of course, it's going to happen, because what happened was, one girl told another girl and another girl and another girl, so on and so forth. And, you treat your customers like gold and they'll tell two friends and so on and so forth. So,
well, I think not only that, but also your relationship with other vendors,
Oh, yeah.
I had a, and just saw a comment here from Chase, which we'll go back to here in just a second, but
sure.
I had a venue reach out to me the other night and said, hey, are you working tonight? I said, well, I'm home now actually. And full disclosure, I was already in bed, and they're like, hey, we got a little issue with our Cold Spark send off. Ends up that we have two, so they have two venues that are not directly across the street from each other, but kind of down the road across the street from each other.
Okay.
And normally they'll do there's a guy that works there named John who does all of their lighting and things like that. So he'll normally do like a sparkler or not sparkler, but cold spark send off with the guests have sparklers, but he does the cold sparks as well. So he'll do that at one venue and then hustle down to the other venue, and they'll usually space it out so he's got time to do that, right? So apparently they ended up kind of having a little snafu with the timing, and one of the things were where it was overlapping, and they didn't even have enough cold sparks because they had a couple that were down. So they were like, is there any way you can get out here and help us? And I'm like, yeah, let me get on the road. So,
Awesome.
you just do things like that for people, and they remember it.
Oh no, that's yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, and then you get the residual business down the line. No, it's yeah. No, you jump out of bed. You're like, if you didn't want to, you didn't have to, but because you did, yeah. And you're going to get that recognition in that business. Awesome. Bravo. Look, we were talking in the green room before. God, I've been in this business 30 years easily. And I talked about that 18th birthday I did. They had a debut. Have you ran anything in anything like that? I mean, I've done bar bat mitzvahs. I've done actually quinceañeras, and I forget what other culture. This was a long time ago. We did a 16th birthday that was very similar to this, but the 18th birthday in the Filipino culture was a coming out, and it was big. And she had a court, and they had a rose celebration, and speeches. It was really cool. To go through, but it was just something after all these years. So what's Chase putting up? Let's talk about what
so kind of started off, to be honest, I'm struggling a bit but my advertising went to crap all over COVID, so I'm playing catch up and trying to resaturate the market with my company name. I mean, I think that's fair. And then you said it's also missing a lot of vendor networking events
right there
during and after COVID hurts a lot.
No, so. You're right. It's rough to do, and it's like whether it's a rebranding or just a reawakening, shall we say? I mean, we utilize guys like us, Chase, to do that. Right above my fingers there, Pro Mobile DJ, to push the name. Backlinks, as many backlinks as you can. Work on your SEO, your search engine optimization. You want some ideas, you want some, tips for starters, or just to brush you up, let me know. What was the one thing I told people to go to? Yext, Y-E-X-T. Are you familiar with Yext, David?
I remember you talking about it, man. I tried to check it out the other day, and I totally forgot to do it.
Think of a social media aggregator. And it was given to me by a person in the social media marketing field to say, hey, this is what you're going to need to do. There's a free version. There's a paid version. What it'll allow you to do is it searches your business name, your business address, your business phone number, and it makes sure and obviously your business website and email, and it makes sure all of that information that's located on the internet is the same. In other words, your phone numbers aren't askew, the emails aren't askew, the owner name, all of that has to be the same and linked so that the spiders crawling the internet can see all of that, and it all adds together in one big whole fell swoop. But what Yext will tell you is all of those places where you're at, and some of them you can't even register for. And what I mean by that is they're picked up by other sites, because the whole cookies thing and your information that's sold to other people can be used, to help benefit them, because these other sites, they can work on affiliate links only. And to have that content on their site, they make their money from those that pay them affiliate money for the links that are clicked through. But they also need, standard people to fill up the meat and potatoes of their site. And that's all part of this SEO. And what I mean is I talked about this years ago when the internet first came out, before SEO was even a thing. And I said, if you want to be noticed, sign up for every free social media platform that there is. And this was back in the MySpace days. But anything else that was MySpace High Five, make sure that your brand, your name is there, but on every free place. Why? Because when you Google it, you'll then find yourself there. When other people Google it, you take up all of those free search engine parts. And whether it's Pinterest, whether it's something like Shutterfly or the old Photo Bucket, things like that, these are also, you can consider them social media sites, or a blog or a wiki or whatever it may be. Anywhere you can have a profile to put your company name, address, and website and email, put it there. Yext will help you out. It'll say, here's where you're not, and here's where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gives you that idea of where you're missing, and you can fill in those dots, and you can see, oh my goodness, my email is this old email that I shouldn't be using. You make that all equal, and believe me, watch your numbers grow through your analytics. And if you don't know analytics, that's a whole nother story to tracking your search engine optimization, tracking the people that come to your website, where they come from, what zip code they come from, how much money they could possibly make, where they work, whether they're male, female, animal, vegetable, mineral. Yeah. We go on and on and on. But analytics is the key to help you working with that. And look, all of this is an educational thing that we as entertainers, we as DJs, we as business owners, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Chase, need to grasp, understand if we're going to do this ourselves, or hire somebody in our social media, department, or for marketing department that can take care of that for you, make that their task. Have I babbled on enough about that crap?
No, I think it's cool. I actually just did a quick search for it and realized there's some things I definitely need to get updated on my end.
And look, it was, when the big transition happened years ago, and I started to really, learn about social media marketing. And I took a course. I took a free Google course. It gave me a certificate all about marketing. There are also WordPress plugins that do exactly that. Yes, as a matter of fact. And with WordPress, if you have the free version, you only have their analytics. If you want Google Analytics to work with WordPress, I think you pay the $10. But yeah, there's a plugin. Oh my God, Chase, there's a plugin for everything on WordPress. And I'm a WordPress guy for both the school and Curran Entertainment. What I learned is, as long as you have the paid version, let your Google Analytics do all the work for you. It has a great tool. I mean, their analytics is fine, but yeah, Google. It's really shown me some dynamite things and let me track that. But anyway, back to the topic, and all of this you'll learn is education at trade shows or at meetings or networking, or through places like the school, or through places like wherever, like even online. I mean, there's 100 different places and educational spots that you can go to help you out with all of this. And it's just one main factor. As a matter of fact, I'll give a shout out now, and it's probably not even been announced, for the DJX, which we're going to be discussing in a minute, or the DJ Expo in August. I think Vernique Fields, one of our, or Neek Nice, DJ Neek Nice, one of our board members, is going to be doing a seminar as well down there, but she's going to tackle the business aspect of it. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Trade shows, education, and networking is crucial, Chase. And you led us into what we're really going to be talking about tonight, and which we're leading into next week, because we have some special guests next week, Chase, that you'll definitely want to check out. And those that normally listen when they don't have time after the fact, a bunch of guys said, Greg, I listen to you when I go to work. I'm like, how does he listen to me go to work? I'm like, I'm an idiot. He subscribes on the podcast, and he gets those dings when he subscribes, via Spotify. I think he does that. So if you're listening to that, or you're listening to this into the future, check out our show in a week's time. What is the 9th, right?
Yeah, imagine that. We're going to be actually on the air 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks. Oh my God. So
what are we thinking?
Those paychecks are rolling in good for us. Our sponsors have been taking care of us. Thank you.
There you go.
All of our nice sponsors. You can see them all the way around if they're still alive through this coronavirus thing. No, actually, everybody is doing well and has survived well.
Alive.
Well, not alive. Their companies, really. I mean, everywhere you look, it's like an apocalypse out there with the poor companies and what's happening. But anyway, I digress, and back to these trade shows, because Chase is exactly correct. If you follow me on social media, and I know you do, David, and I'm not as big and as good as you are, but hint, hint, nudge, nudge, maybe when you come down to Atlantic City, you can help me out with my seminar.
Go.
But speaking of seminars, DJ Expo, grabbed one of my pictures that shot out to Hugh Riley from the pros, who took that. I use it as one of my many profile shots out there for marketing me. They found it. They took a quote that they have an exit poll. Like, you know how when you leave these trade shows, somebody says, hey, can you tell me a little bit about this? And I did, and I handed them my card. And sure enough, I was picked because one of the, X number of people, they put me on their website. They put me after the fact. And now for next year, they did a quote, and they really, it was all about networking. It said networking, and explained, the benefits of why you go to the DJ Expo and whatnot. It was really a great post. And I wanted to thank everybody there, at the DJ Expo, and Hazan Media Group, because really what we're going to talk about next week is the branding and rebranding of what was the old DJ Expo that's now DJX, that used to be owned by Testa Communications, that's now owned by Hazan Media Group. And they were also backed by DJ Times Magazine, which has now evolved to DJ Life Magazine. And all of which, look, for the past 30 years, DJ Times and the DJ Expo have served us all well with education, and getting us all together with networking and the equipment, etc. Really, this rebranding is to take them for the next 30 years. And that was one of the things when I was reading up on this. I said, wow, what a great vision. What a great thing to be excited to be part of. So that's going to be next week. It's Sean Hazan, the CEO and president of Hazan Media Group, and Jim Tremaine. He's the editor-in-chief of the old DJ Times magazine, which is now DJ Life. And they're going to talk about their rebranding, changing the Expo to DJ X, and also from DJ Times to DJ Life. And oh my God, if you haven't checked out the website, they totally gave it a redo. Yeah. I mean, I remember the old DJ Times website, and then I went to the new DJ Life, and I was blown away because even just the menus, you have to go surfing. And if you look at the menus, they have lists and DJ lists, and it's great. It's been totally redone. So bravo to them. And I can't wait to, give them props for that, at the thing. So, did I miss something? Or what was it? Who came in? Vince said hello or something?
A little while ago, he said hello. Yeah.
Okay. He popped in and that. So, what did I miss, David? Because
I think that's pretty darn accurate, honestly.
I start going on and running with this, and then I miss my spot here because I got the ADHD, combined with OLD. Do you have an OLD?
Occasionally I do, yes.
You do? Yeah. I can see it. It's all over you got the first steps of OLD. It's that white stuff on your face. So
exactly.
Yeah. And if you replay this and you get this, you'll get the joke later. What OLD is,
Right.
Just like ADD and ADHD. So, but yeah, the rebranding. So, but look, there are so many different trade shows, and Chase said it, and God, we must have discussed this. If you look back on our podcast, if we've done 50 podcasts, we probably talked about 40 times about this,
right?
And about that. I'm surprised actually we don't have a DJX banner up on this thing. Who knows? We might after next week.
I hope so, right?
But it's look. One of the main keys where people say, I'm not going this year. Just for the sole fact of since I've been in this 25, 30 years, and I've made friends with most of the people in this industry, and not just the DJ and the artists, but the people who own the companies, the supplier side of it. Right. Like Gabriel from ProX, like Chris, Paul, and the crew over at Peavy. Oh my God, there's Jamie over at Reloop. And Vince at Glowtronics, and Pat at Inno, and Jared at 12-inch skins, and I could keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. But these are the people that not only you go out and you do business with, but you help them out, introduce them to other people, but hang out, have a good time, and share either horror stories or success stories to help each other out and learn. It's about learning.
I agree.
I mean, how do you get better?
You learn, you grow, you find people who, I always say, I find people who are where I want to be, and I learn from them.
All right. You utilize mentors and
Mhm.
yes, very cool. Look, learn from your mistakes and the mistakes others make in this industry, and don't make those mistakes.
Right.
Yeah, no, look, that's a big what you just said there. It's a big thing. Who was the Tony Robbins? Um, Tony Robbins said that. That's what you do. You find somebody who's succeeding, and you look at them and you find them as not as a mentor, or you mirror or model what they are doing.
Right.
And look, if what they are doing or what you are doing is not working, revise your approach until it works, and then do what works, baby.
Right.
It's as simple as that. But anyway, these shows, like for example, the NAM happens twice a year. You familiar with NAM, or have you ever been out to NAM?
No, I almost went to the one that was in Anaheim that one time, and
Okay.
wasn't able to make it. That happened. But
The
me and
national.
Shane, who's been on the show with us before,
Okay.
we both said that we were going to go out there. We kind of said, hey, we got to definitely do this.
Okay.
And you're gone. But maybe you'll be back. Who knows? We'll see. Until then, we were, oh, there he is. Just back again.
Hey.
Boom.
The National Association of Music Marketers. Yeah, it's in Anaheim, California. I had the dates down here. What is it? Oh, well, I think this year's NAM is coming up in June, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. They just announced it recently.
Yeah, June 3rd. Oh, that's right. It's only because it used to be for a whole week. Now it's June 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah,
Anaheim,
3rd.
California. And I guess you're going to coin that summer NAM. Winter NAM happened. I attended it virtually. It was okay. It's nothing like being there in person. But
Right.
it NAM's an experience that if you're in this industry and you haven't seen it, DJ is just, oh God, not even 2% of what's at NAM. I mean, there is a
Right.
section, like it was like you put the DJ Expo into a bigger expo. It was that wild. But just being surrounded by everything else music, especially if you like to play an instrument or any type of instrument or anything associated with creating music, making music, whether it's from, you know, the meat and potatoes, which are the instruments themselves, all the way up to the digital art forms and everything on computer, you can find it there. All
Mm-hmm.
the way down to the people that make the wood for the guitars or the instruments that you're using, you know, there, or the drums or the plastic piece, the smallest little minute details. That's how big NAM is. And when there are close to, oh God, thousands, not hundreds, thousands of vendors there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So NAM is something that if you haven't experienced, you should experience.
Well, and there's, celebrities walking around. You never know who you're going to run into. And,
Yes, that's
just
the other thing.
unbelievable.
Yeah, somebody's just like, oh, that's blah 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 from, you know, name the group. He had big long hair. I'm like, oh my God, the guy from, what was it? One of the guys from Night Rangers. Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden we're following each other on link. Tony Franklin, that's who it was. Tony Franklin, but he played with Ozzy, and they play with all these different people. These are true musicians, whether they're guitarists, drummers,
Right.
singers, that have these credits to all these different bands. And to them, it's just like, oh, no, here's not my Facebook, here's my LinkedIn. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's how these guys network. But it's a cool thing, and God, the musical experiences are second to none. And
Mhm.
you're out there close to California, and you're right. All the celebrities, go out there, and it's a cool time.
Yeah.
It is a cool time. What else? Right after, after NAM is, and we were talking about this before, but it's the Marquee Show.
Yeah. Chase said he's going to the Marquee Show this year.
Oh, okay. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever been to that? Or
Yeah, I went to the one last year. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Give me a 1-2 on it, because I've never.
It was so last year it was heavy on education. The vendors were, it was a smaller vendor group, a lot of photo booth stuff, some audio stuff. Evie was there. Just it was just a lot of it was cool. Just a lot of people just kind of getting together, hanging out. It wasn't one of these kind of like when the show gets too big, sometimes it gets a little clicky. And this clicks over here and this clicks over here. And at Marquee, it was like everybody was all just kind of hanging out together. I mean, it was people that kind of went there, did their own thing. I mean, Luke Wrenchin, from Rhode Island, he was there with me, and we went to a Cubs game one night, and everybody does certain things, right? But but yeah, for the most part, it was really, and I just thought the education was really good. I thought there was some speakers that you've seen before, and then there were some that you haven't seen before, which I think is a good mix.
Nice. All right. Now, if correct me if I'm wrong, was that the old photo booth expo or no? Or is that that's the other one I'm going to talk about now, Mex?
Yeah. Yep.
So Mex, which they just passed, it was February 21 through 24th. That was the old Mobile Beat Las Vegas, which is still held in Vegas. So now it's called the what is it? Mobile Entertainer Expo. But they combined the old photo booth expo with the Mobile Beat show. Is that what they did?
That's correct.
Aha, I see. All right.
Yep.
And look, there is yet just another, trade show. So we have Mex, we have NAMM, we have the Marquee show, and then the newest one, which I was so excited to find out about this, Harvest of Sound.
Yeah.
We had the guys on. Oh, wait. Oh, hold the presses. Mex was fun.
Chase was there. Yeah, he said Mex was fun, but I felt like the DJ side of the show was kind of an afterthought. I learned a lot, but it seemed like they just threw it together.
Wow. Interesting, Chase. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Kevin says mainly photo booth DJ was secondary.
Oh, well, Kevin, you're not the first person to have I have heard that from. I didn't want to mention that. I want to, kind of be nice and give everybody a fair shake and a fair share, obviously. But you wouldn't be the first to say that it wasn't a nice balance, as far as, DJ, as far as photo booth. I went there. It was good, but they need more veteran DJs to do the planning. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and how about the acts? Like, did they have big acts? Like, I mean, hell, even out in the East Coast, we get at least Qbert, Z Trip, and who the Scribble. And every once in a while, for lucky, one of the Funkadelic guys shows up.
Yeah. I saw there was in years past, they used to have a lot of, some pretty decent celebrities that would show up to the at least to the Mobile Beat side of things.
Right. Like Vanilla Ice, he was out at Vegas once. They had, I remember Lady Gaga came out of East once. We had her there. There were some people, but not as big as what used to go to Vegas.
Right.
And NAMM, forget it. My hands are down to that. But all right. But Harvest of Sound. Now, this is December 5th and 6th in Boston, correct?
Yeah.
And damn, man, I would be going if I didn't have once again promised myself out on that. I was like, damn, I promised myself out. Ugh. There's a couple of these where I've got big gigs with big people that I can't say no to.
Yeah.
And you're welcome, Soho, and you're welcome. I forget the other person, but whatever.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Good. Well, that's and please fill me in and tell me what I've missed. Now, is this the second one?
You know what? I actually think this is a third one, maybe.
Okay, it's the third one, because this is probably one of the most awesome ideas in a trade show. So, and basically, correct me if I'm wrong, and I want everybody else to know about this. They really put the Harvest of Sound. They're putting speakers up against each other. In other words, it's like, kind of like a Robot Wars with speakers and sound, right?
Yeah, so I think the really cool thing about what they're doing is like it's one day of that and one day of seminars, or it might be a balance of the two. I don't remember exactly, but
okay,
I know that they're going to take JBLs, EVs, probably Peavy. I know that they wanted to get in touch with you about somebody at Peavy. Some other, I can't think right now. What is it? RCF, I think is another one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And they're literally putting, all these speakers on display all at the same time, all in the same setting, and really doing a sound test. Really, Ben Stowe from NLFX. I don't think anybody doesn't know who he is. He's going to be there and doing all of his
Good.
wizardry and whatever the hell he does to make you understand all these, specs and graphs and numbers and mathematics and probably some science and shit and all of that, mixed together to, help you make a good decision about what, you know what I'm saying? What kind of, sounds like a lot of comb filtering, right? Yeah. But honestly, like, I think what's great about it is that he's able to help you. Vince said who? Ben Stowe, look it up. I know you know who he is. But yeah, I mean, look, I want to get the rest of this out. So what I'm saying is it's really going to give you like some real true numbers and information to make a decision about what you want to purchase instead of what you feel like all your friends have, or, you see this DJ on Instagram or that DJ on Facebook or whatever. And, they all have speakers X, but for what you're trying to accomplish, those might not be the right thing for you.
You're becoming an educated consumer from going to this, is what you're telling me.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
you're going to get actual specs and numbers and information on the quality of sound and so on and so forth.
Nice. No.
Chase said he's got a lot of articles from Ben Stowe on ProMobileDJ.com. I agree.
Nice. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God, yeah. And Vince, if you don't know, look up Ben Stowe.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. Look, I forget there used to be a commercial they had here on the East Coast. They used to say, "An educated consumer is our best customer," and I was like, wow. This was a company that would come in and they would say, okay, they'd put clothing on the rack. And they say, if it's on the rack now, it's at this price. But if it's on there after 90 days, it's going down to this price. And if it's going down a little more, it's at this price. So there's 3 tiers, and they tell them this is what we're going to do. And after that, you'll be lucky if we don't trash the thing or throw it or get it on fire. Yeah. But it's once again, it's telling everybody here's the deal. You want it, grab it now.
Well, and I think Kevin brings up a good point here about, you have to be open-minded when you go to something like this,
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah. I mean, and it's easy, and I get it, man. It's easy. You find a particular widget, fill in the blank, whatever you want, controller, microphone, anything you want. And it's difficult to, as Kevin says, sometimes it's difficult for people not to be open-minded and really get this information, but it's worth it, man. It's well worth it. And then the seminars are going to be great too, by the way. The education is going to be phenomenal.
Look, a lot of us are afraid of change. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I was talking to one DJ, it was a guy I've been working with for years. I said, all right, man. I said, I want to come back into the industry. He says, okay. He says, okay, great. And I said, you have all your stuff? Oh, I still have all of my stuff from years ago. I said, oh, really? You do? Which probably is powered speakers. They would work. That would be about it. Yeah. I asked him, I said, what are you rocking with? He goes, well, I might have to upgrade my computer, but my PC DJ controller is still good, he says.
Yeah.
Now, look, no offense. Is that still even around? Is that still?
I don't know. I haven't seen them forever.
Yeah, no offense to Visiosonic and those people, but yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was a force to be reckoned with. I don't know. I don't know. He said he rocked it, and I was like, you have a PC DJ controller. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called PC DJ Dex 3.
Well, I remember the rebranding to Dex. That was probably 10, 15 years ago. God. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just remember when Virtual came out, it was weird. It was PC DJ was first, and then Dex, and then it was one thing after another. There was Final Scratch that changed the world, and then once Serato happened, or Scratch Live, whatever, it changed the world. But
no, I mean, honestly, I think PC DJ. That's what I started using. That was the very first software I used when I was DJing.
Me too. And I
think it was like the thing that was out there, man. But I could tell you some freaking nightmares.
I bought one of their controllers. Oh yeah, no. Oh, and I could too, especially with your music and getting music on there, and music. It was just I would anyway.
Chase, man, we're really giving Chase an opportunity to air his grievances tonight, and sometimes it's just important to do that. You
It
know?
turns into an hour-long advertising venture to sell the speakers workshops. You know, you're right, and I have to give props to the guys at DJ Times, or excuse me, now DJ Life, especially Jim, because you know when we did our thing last year, he wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. So
Yeah.
what did he just say there? I missed it.
Oh,
But
sorry. Yeah, and I'm going to
yeah.
go back to a comment about this too because I have a little bit of insight on that.
Oh my God, an American Audio. Oh my
That's
God.
so crazy.
But yeah, no, actually, that's two things I know they're definitely working on, because I know there are people that are passionate about that. And the one is making sure that these seminars are not only two things. It's not a ego measuring contest, and I'll be nice because we got to keep it PG.
Yeah.
So it's not an ego measuring contest, and it's also not going to be a commercial for any particular brand thing whatsoever. It's not going to be focused on that. That's the first thing, you know. The second thing is they got to watch the sound on the floor. And next week, I mean, one of the questions, and I hate to do this, they might kick me out. I mean, the guy, you know, never allowed back at the expo again. Some of these questions I want to hit them with, but you know, one of the thing is, I think they're going to be doing something in the future with the Senate DJs about that, because it used to be too damn loud to get business done. And if you were certain people trying to do things, I could remember trying to make deals with people and be like, you know what, it is too damn loud. They're right.
Yeah.
In certain areas and aspects. But then again, it's only for certain times, because we know as DJs, we get pumped. Music goes up here, and then if you're a competing booth, music goes up there, and it becomes a war, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
let's go back for 2
please,
seconds to the
rewind.
comment.
Virtual DJ, go ahead.
No, not virtual DJ. This comment here about the seminars, and the reason why I want to go back to this, just to offer a smidgen of insight, is that you know, I've actually been, for the last year plus, I've been taking the Speakers Academy through the National Speakers Association, just to brushing up and get better at that kind of thing. And one of the things that one of my mentors has been talking to me about lately is that a lot of the people that, so let me backtrack for a second. Let's say you take like this, let's say you take the DJ Expo. We'll just use that as an example. And let's say they have 15 slots available for speakers. Okay. So we're doing a track of 15 different presentations. Well, in years past, they might get 20 to maybe 30 people apply for this. And then they whittle down half of them. And then they, you know, and then they pick who they think they feel is going to serve the clientele the best. Well, now that, you know, 15 or 25 to 30 has turned into like 300 or 400. Now they have it's a basic law of supply and demand. We've got 15 slots. We've got 300 people that have applied for these slots. Most of them we can, you know, a good percentage of them we can just weed out. But the problem is, because the supply is so much higher than the demand, that puts the power in the producer's hands versus the speaker's hands. So now the producer is like, okay, well, we don't want to pay anybody to speak. So how do they get around that? They go directly to these people who understand that speaking opportunity provides them the chance to talk about their workshop or their program or this or that or the other thing, which is where they really make the money on. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where the industry, as it pertains to speaking, is on a grander scale. I can't guarantee that that's how it is necessarily on our scale. But on a grander scale, that's kind of how it is. And that's kind of one of the things that they were preparing me for, was like, you know, hey, if you want to get out there on the speaking circuit, you better have something else, you know, up your sleeve, something in your pocket.
Right.
You know,
a plan B.
Yeah. Well, no, not a plan B necessarily.
No, a side hustle, like another.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You better be pushing your book. If you have a book, you should be pushing your book. If you're doing online seminars that are on demand, hey, come over to my David, you know, David Hanscom's online course on teaching you, you know, DJ tips, David,
whatever it might be.
David's DJ tips. Right. No, I got it. And that's
Yep.
what, yeah, of course. And that's what you're doing. Sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Or hey, buy my book. And
so that's really some, just kind of behind the scenes as to why you see this more often, because that's the reason, is that there's just, it's kind of like when the economy goes bad. Think about this: when the economy goes bad or anything at all like that, everybody all of a sudden becomes some sort of independent business owner. Either it's a DJ or a house cleaner or a friggin' gardener or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just all of that, that stuff. So Kevin says also the unwillingness to allow outsiders to come in and speak, too many clicks. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that as well. That kind of, you get a regime that's running the show, and it's, let me get all my buddies in and let me get all my friends in, and then if there's any space left, then we'll see what else is out there. So True. It's tough, man. I'll tell you, even in the podcast world, look how many competitors we have. There's all kinds of people in the podcast world, and we can sit here and say what makes us any smarter or more fun to talk to or listen to or watch or whatever than the next guy.
Right. So you're exactly correct. Look, there's one thing you're missing that I experienced out there, and I couldn't believe that it happens. And besides them paying, other companies would say, hey, we want to do this, or this. So if you're going to be out there and you're going to have David's whatever, no, thanks.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. But look, check it out. If you want to do something and you're going to say, hey, especially if you want to play it out, say, hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I want to have this, and this. And I have my star, Joey Ungatz, who's going to play the guitar or play the DJ. And they're going to say, okay, well, your booth is going to be X, and for that performance, it's going to be X. So technically, you're now paying a little bit more for the performance. Or, what's up, Brian? Peace up, pal. Or ordering. In other words, I know Peavy in the past has said, okay, we'll supply you the entire sound for the entire stage as long as you put us up there, and you mentioned that we're the stage sponsors, and give us spots for our DJs, and they'd have 4 spots for the Peavy DJs to play on the main stage. Yeah. And I get it. There was a barter that was done there, and it was a way of getting things done. Or in other places like if New York DJ Con, there was another one we didn't mention. And I don't even know if they're having that again this year, which was the old Global Spin Awards. That was another, depending upon if you were demanding. They say, all right, you can pay me a little bit more for that. Or if they needed you and they liked you, it was a different story, and you had something to offer because your content, and you just said it as well, there's 1,000 other podcasters out there. I mean, you can go listen to Joe Rogan, or you can go listen to, whatever. There's a podcast for everything. There's
Joe
probably
Rogan ain't gonna tell you how to DJ, though. I can tell you that.
Well, there's probably and there's probably a podcast for number 23 right behind you, and how to play basketball and how to do it right, or just him and his legacy, just guys talking about him and, oh my God, remember the games, remember this, remember that, right? Probably more than likely. I mean, Christ, they have a show to talk about The Walking Dead after The Walking Dead. They have a show to talk about, the Breaking Bad or whatever these shows are on television. Why? Talking about your series. Talk shows talking about talk shows. And then you have podcasts talking about talk shows, so it goes down the line. But point being, Dave, it's content.
Well, it's content, and it's also a community. I think that's something that sometimes people don't really see, directly see the value in. But there's this underlining value of, like, you're creating this community of like-minded people. No matter how big or small it is, those that listen, those that participate, those that are whatever you want to call it, they're part of that community that you're building, because they realize that you resonate with them, they resonate with you, and the other people involved as well. So I think, like you said, content, community, both of those are
community. Yeah. And look, that's where your networking comes in, because these guys like Vince, like Shane, like Brian, all of them that we see, time and time again, Daryl, when he can come out, I can go on and on and on and on, you know, Kevin, and then, you know, Braden, all these people. And if we were to all get together under one roof, let alone, you know, because even last year when we were just starting, you know, it was neat to talk to people and be like, oh my God, you know, one guy that I only hook up with at these expos, DJ Echo. Okay. It's just a DJ out there. We've hooked up on social media and Instagram. He does interviews. He interviews people. He puts them on social media, and, you know, and we became friends. But, you know, he and those on his shows, hey, we checked out your, you know, your podcast, or hey, we checked out your YouTube, and, you know, we subscribed on YouTube, or we've done this so that we can check them out. Because look, not everybody, even our guests or co-hosts, can make this Monday night. And it's rare that we can, because of our busy schedules. That's why we joked in the beginning, like, every Monday night, right? Yeah. It would be a different story, you know, if we weren't as busy as we were, had a lot, you know, going on in the entertainment world, which is a good and a blessed thing. But, you know, back to, you know, it's all about the community. It's the network that we build and the people that listen, that come and support us. And hopefully, you know, when we all meet up, and hopefully this will happen, you know, we can have a thing where we can say, hey, you know, DJ X is coming up, and Greg and David are both going to be there. We're both going to be at NAMM, or we're both going to be wherever, and see how many people we can get to meet up there that are going to be out there. And, or maybe you and I can meet in the middle, or do both in East Coast, you know, meet up ourselves. Cause I've done it a couple times with the DJ Entertainment School. And I was really blown away by all the support and people that came out, you know, just have a meetup, you know, a few spinners, some guys to play some music, but it's really about kicking back and, you know, telling some stories and learning from each other, you know, have a couple beers, have a couple sodas, some food, you know, relax and enjoy each other's company, but network and learn. So what this is all about. I forgot one besides Harvest of Sound, and you pointed it to me, the Intuitive DJ Training and Educational Summit. That's first time I've heard of that. It was January 29th to February 1st. It's going to be in 2023, and it's going to be in Detroit. Detroit. Probably why I haven't heard of it. Last time I went to Detroit, I left there without my luggage.
Well, I think this is the first time they're doing this one. But these guys have some, and they have some speakers. You know, I was just looking at their kind of speaker list here. But
wait, it's their first time. Oh, so they have Little Daddy instead of Big Daddy. Ho, but no.
Nice.
Sorry, Big Daddy. He's gonna hit me for that tomorrow.
You're too funny. But yeah, I mean, well, actually, they got Big Earn, so Big Earn's going to be one of their peeps. So there's
Little
that.
Wait, it's their first time. It's Little Earn. Big Earn's going to be next year.
Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, DJ Collective. How can we forget this?
Ernie is going to be a speaker. He's going to be a speaker. That's awesome.
So it says Ernie is actually going to be the host of it.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
DJ Collective is another one, which is Joe Bunn's Expo.
Yeah. DJ Collective is a good one, man.
Oh, okay. All right. But isn't that a sales pitch? Hold on. Isn't that a sales pitch, though? I mean, Chase, it's like he was just talking about sales pitch, and I'm just like, well, I don't want to mention, and then all of a sudden he throws him in. But look, much love for Joe. Love Joe. Love what he does. And you know what? Yes, the DJ Collective is awesome, and everything that he has going on. And what did Brian just say? I missed Brian because we got a lot of comments.
He said call you tomorrow, or call him tomorrow.
You know, I can't wait for our date there, Brian.
And then why does he have OBJ on the bottom here?
You know
what is that all about?
If you're a hacker, you've learned that these are little. He's on his phone, obviously, and he's putting emojis on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and technically, it's old dirty. No, I don't know what it is really. It is an emoji thing. It has something to do with emoji. It doesn't sponsor anything on Pro Mobile DJ, despite me trying. Who does it?
You're talking about Joe Bunn.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
He's just saying that Joe doesn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is this. We'll
have a sit down. Right.
Bottom line is this: the collective is a good. I mean, but it's expensive at the end of the day. It's very expensive to go to. It's not something that first of all, it's probably not something that maybe a newer DJ would want to go to. I think some of these other opportunities are probably more suited for somebody that's a little bit newer in the industry. But if you've been in the industry for a little while, or here's the exception to what I'm about to say, is this is the exception, I think, to what I just said. If you seriously want to make a career out of doing this and you're really ready to go, then it's worth going to. But if you're just going to just have an experience and you're going to have your almost cussed. Oh, I can. If you're going to have your fucking head in the cloud the whole time you're there, then it's kind of a waste of money. You should just go have your head in the cloud at one of these other lesser expensive ones is what I'm saying.
Right.
Because there's a lot of education there, just like Chase just said. And I speak from experience because I've actually been to two of them. Right.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Right.
So I'm not just kind of speaking.
What do these things cost? What do they cost?
Well, the last one, the one for this year is $3,100, and that's
how many days is it?
It's 3 days, I think.
3 days.
Yeah,
all right, that's cool.
I think it's
all right. How many hookers do I get for that price?
That's up to you, man. That's up to you.
Oh, I mean, for that price, I should get a couple hookers.
Well, I mean, in some states, I think you still can.
Yeah,
you know,
and right, and then I get to let one go in the loose and Hunter, correct? I mean, that for that price.
Oh boy,
right. And then we get to drink Cristal afterwards with Jay-Z. All right,
okay.
But bump. Come on,
we're getting so far off track here. We're getting so far off track. Look, the bottom line is this, and there's that for your Jay-Z.
Right, thank you.
The bottom line is this: each one of these shows has a little something different to offer.
Yes,
and I think it has a niche for some. Have more of a niche for some DJs than others. Some crossover. You know, I mean, Chase mentioned Midwest DJs Live, which just happened. Man, I heard there was a hell of a lot of good education at that one.
Yes,
I was having actually a lot of FOMO that I missed that. I missed being able to go to that one. And that's the thing. Like, you see all these posts on social media, and you know, people just post a little snippet of somebody's presentation, and you're like, oh man, I really missed out on that. But you know, yeah, there's a lot of value. And again, to me, I will forever be a fan of community and of education. I think the gear and the parties and all that stuff, that kind of stuff is fun. And 20 years ago for me, that's probably what was more important. But now, to me, it's community and education, because I understand without those two things, you may not even get to where we are now in our careers.
Nope. And you know what? I work so hard at these things. You know, yes, sometimes the partying, but I want to go home. I want to go to bed early. I want to watch the Discovery Channel. I'll have a drink or two, but just enough so that I can get up early in the morning and do my thing and be refreshed. Because nothing sucked when I was younger than getting up with that hangover when I really, really wanted to do stuff and learn stuff, and I couldn't. It was a wasted day. So that I've learned in all these years, you know, to do the right thing. By that, there's a couple things that I just wanted to add before we get out of here. And I know South by Southwest. Have you ever been down to that one? I know a couple guys have talked. Greg, have you ever been down to South by South? It's a music conference, right? Out in I think it's down in Arizona. I'm not sure if I'm not mistaken.
Kevin said I just drank the entire time.
But besides South by Southwest, the other thing I should think, you know, at least you should give a look at if you're in this industry, especially a DJ or an entertainer, is CES. They have that in Las Vegas. It's the Consumer Electronics Show, but it's all about the gadgets and the electronics and the newest stuff that's out. And with that, I'm done, Becky.
Yeah. Kevin said entire time back in the day. Well, Kevin and I used to go on the DJ cruises too, which, you know, I mean, that's another one. I would really like to put one together myself, honestly, but just got to get the right people in place to do that with. But I think that would be a lot of fun.
Like rent out the whole boat? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just like the very first time we went, the very first one we went on for the We DJ cruise, I think it was only like less than 30 of us. Like, it wasn't very big at all. And then over time, it just evolved. You know, Kevin, we should talk about this for real then, man. But I think that's the thing. Like, you know, after you have a certain amount of people, and depending on who you know on the, you know, within the cruise line that you go on and things like that. Like there's opportunities for little meeting areas and stuff like that. So days when you're out to sea, you know, you get together and you have some sort of a workshop or some sort of a presentation.
It's interesting. It's interesting you're discussing that because, and we discussed that in the green room. The reason Soho is not joining us at the expo or is not going to be my seminar this year is because he is going to be on Virgin Cruise Line. And with that said, he's supposedly the DJ for Richard Branson's birthday party, which is the second week in August, and that's why he's missing it. But all of that said, maybe look, this is all far cry, but who knows? You know, ideas are made. Maybe we get an in with Virgin and do our own little thing and start our own little thing. And
never know,
right? You never know.
You never know.
But I like that idea.
Yeah, that's Chase. Chase, that's what we were just talking about. Yep. And then Kevin says, I've always wanted to do a golf weekend with DJs. I think that'd be fun too.
That would be fun. Yeah. Yep. A golf outing or something like that, you know?
You know how you make that work is you schedule that like either before or after the cruise or whatever. Like have that scheduled like the day before you leave or, you know, 2 days before you leave or something like that. And then it's just all encompassed. You know what I mean?
A golf outing, and then we leave for our cruise.
Yeah, you have like this shotgun tournament or whatever the hell they call it. I think that's what they call it. I don't know. But you have like best ball or shotgun or I don't know, a fucking putt contest.
They'll have like 15 or 20 different, you know, there's a whole bunch of closest to the pin. Oh yeah, they have a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, just do some fun shit like that and then jump on a cruise ship and hit the road for a couple of days.
Interesting. I like these ideas. These are good things. You know?
Oh wow, he's going all in, saying a 3-day golf outing, man.
Ooh, maybe we could find a cruise ship that has an actual 9 holes on the top of it. And we can kill 2 birds with one stone. Because I've seen these things. They have like these playlands on the top of them, and I'm like, they got a damn water slide on the top of that. I'm like, well, what's over there? Well, that's the roller coaster. I'm like, you've got a water slide and a roller coaster on your cruise ship.
Yeah, well, 2 things. Number one, if it's a golf thing on a cruise ship, it's going to be putt. Number one, and number 2, those guys that if you want to start off doing a DJ cruise, you're not going on ships that have roller coasters and shit like that. You have to work your way up to those.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean?
You're absolutely right. No, I've seen some of these crazy ass ships, like the whole back. This one I was looking at, but I was like, oh, look at the ship we just went on. The whole back of it was like a theater. I was like, this thing is wild, and it was built. And then once again, up on top, there were 2 different water slides. It was like, well, this is the adult section. I'm like, the adult section. He goes, oh yeah, they have a kiddie section and then an adult section because they had like 4 or 5 different bungees and this crazy ass stuff. I mean, the stuff he mentioned, it was just unreal. It was just unreal. Oh yeah, they were parasailing and gliding and doing crazy shooting and whatever. So, all right, just talk about business.
So they have go-karts on them now. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's some of the craziest stuff you would think. But all right, let's put that in our idea book, gentlemen. Yeah. We could utilize you, me, Chase. Who knows, Kevin? Some of
I like this golf idea though, man. This might have some legs to it. Well, because this is a good point. Like, think about how many business deals are made on the golf course. Like a lot of business deals are made on the golf course. I'm not saying that business deals would be made, but you know, when you're friggin', whether you take the cart or whether you walk the whole damn thing or whatever, like when you're spending a good whole day or good portion of a day with, you know, say 4 people, I think you're usually playing foursomes, you know, like people you don't really know or whatever, you know what I'm saying? By the time you get to hole 10, you either, you know, have learned a lot or you're like trying to make a late, you know, postseason trade if they even do that shit in golf. I don't know if you're like, yo, this guy, can we trade Greg for like somebody else that on
he talks too much. He's too drunk. Yeah. Get him out of here. Right?
Yeah, he drinks too much, man. He's not buying rounds for anybody. But no, I think that would be fun. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, it's the education part alone for that. Yeah, you group the right people together, and you know, and we go out and we have a good time. But yeah, no, great idea. Let's put that on the books. All right, you have anything to add there?
This is it. That right here. This is such a great comment that Kevin said. So many guys say the nuggets come from the hallways of shows So a golf deal, just talk while you play. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. Look, anything to have us get together and chat that makes us conversate, and golf is perfect for that. You have foursomes that are driving around and doing that. Yeah, it is perfect. It's perfect for, for business deals to be made, but it's also perfect for education. And I love the idea. So, but yeah, check in next week. I mean, one of the big things is you're going to be introduced to the new president, or he's not actually, he's the president and CEO of Hazan Media Group, who are the new owners of what they're calling DJX, which was the old DJ Expo rebranded, and DJ Life, which is the old DJ Times magazine rebranded. They're going to discuss that, the rebranding of both DJX and DJ Times, the benefits of going to trade shows, very similar to what we were discussing, but more in minute micro detail, I guess. We'll discuss it, but have your questions ready. Come, ask anything that you want about this. What kind of seminars they're going to have, what type of equipment, who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. They might know, they might not know, because I can tell you that companies probably like Peavy, like QSC, what was the other, Mackie, they all might wait till the last minute. And, all of a sudden come July, they're like, oh yeah, we want to go, thinking that they might get a better deal because not too many people are going to be there, where in fact that might be the wrong move, because prices might go up as you get closer. And utilize what Dave was saying before, supply versus demand, because it works both ways. The show can sell out really quick and prices can go up, or the show doesn't sell out. But who knows? That it's, as long as it doesn't become common knowledge, people will not, know that ooh, there's not a lot of people coming to the expo. If that gets out, or there's not a lot of vendors coming. That was the big problem last year with coronavirus. Everybody was worried. Oh, there's not a lot of vendors. Who cares? Once again, back to my quote, I just wanted to hang with my homies. Yeah. That's it. And from that comes the education. That's all. Never too old to learn.
I will say though, I mean, if you're a gearhead and it's, it's important to you to, to be able to learn more about the new gear and stuff like that, then I get that. But other than that, yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's the internet, and it's sometimes, David, it's like being able to see these people that if even if we're on these once a month Zoom calls with certain organizations and I see them, I actually get to sit down privately with them, maybe have a drink, have a meal, or whatever. Maybe just talk for 5 minutes in a nice, portion. Say, hey, how you doing? How's the wife? How's the family? How are the kids? On a personal level, or talk business or talk shop.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this. But I haven't seen a lot of these people in a long time, and I'm connected, and it's just because of the way I am in this industry. I'm connected to a lot of these guys and gals, and because I was training. What I do? I'm not. Who is clicking the pen? Am I clicking a pen? Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear that.
Damn, this is nice.
You damn pen clicker or whatever it is you got going on over there.
Hold on. I have to pull it out now because I'm putting it back in.
Ooh, be careful. We can get kicked off YouTube for that. Oh, wait.
Did you ever on your chairs, it covers the screws.
Oh, yeah.
It's made to be aesthetically pleasing when you're in an office so you don't see the Phillips head screw. Yeah. So mine, like, is coming out, so I'm sitting there and I'm popping it back in as I talk.
You daggum chair popper.
It's like it's a DJ thing, you gotta be, when you're doing one thing or you're talking, you gotta be doing another, because the one dude was like, you're gonna ruin your cord. He's like, why? Because I'm sitting there while I'm talking, with my other hand, and I'm making circles with the cord. He's like, what are you doing? It's just fidgeting, just something to do.
Fidgets.
All right, man. Anything else you want to add?
No, other than a shameless plug for our show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wedding Business Growth.
WBG.
we're going to be talking about relationships with other vendors at the event and how those can affect you positively and negatively, and why you might want to think about the prior than the latter. I don't know, whatever. Just come join us. It's going to be a fun time. My buddy Cole Coleman, which by the way is so cool that he was named the same name twice, sort of. He's going to be a good chat. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Hey, nice. Keep those relationships professional.
Yep.
All right. That's about it, my friend. You want me to send us on out?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming out. This concludes another amazing episode of In the Queue podcast with Greg Curran and David Hanscom. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like our podcast, subscribe to get notified of future episodes. Follow us on social media at In the Queue podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, or if you have any ideas or questions or an idea for a topic, please email us at hello@inthequeuepodcast.com. See y'all next week.